Weed. Let's talk about it. In today's current world, weed is a extremely popular thing. Weed is legal now too. Where I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Where I'm from, before it was even legal, niggas was outside smoking weed anyway. Niggas was walking down the block smoking weed anyway. Niggas was at the park smoking weed anyway. Everybody knew it. So even when it was illegal, nobody cared. Because in New York, there's much bigger things to worry about than a motherfucker trying to get high. Everybody was already pretty much hip to the fact that a nigga who smokes weed isn't really harming the community. Back in the day, there used to be commercials about how weed makes people do bad things. You know what I'm saying? Now that that belief is long outdated, people didn't care. Way before it was even legalized, nobody cared about it. That's why they was like, yo, you might as well legalize it, because motherfuckers was going to jail for just getting high. Motherfuckers was having cases and legal problems because they wanted to get high off of weed. I do believe personally that it should be legal. You should have that choice. It's your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I definitely believe in it being legal, but do I believe in it being used for every day? Hell no. I definitely do not. I've been there. I understand. You know what I'm saying? The first time I smoked weed, I believe I was 16. I remember it was right after my 16th birthday. Around that time, I was doing it occasionally, every few weeks. You feel me? But this is how a lot of people start. They start off doing it occasionally, here and there, and you start to pick up the habit more and more and more. You feel me? So by the time I was 7, I think it was like a year later, about 17, I started to do it about like every day. I used to do it before school, every day. I used to do it with my cousins. I used to do it after school. Sometimes I would skip school to do it. I was getting high all the time. And at that time, my mind was different. To me, it was just, yo, this shit makes me feel good. Everything's more funny. Food tastes better. The vibe is lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just felt good. You just liked how it made you feel. You liked how it enhanced everything. You know what I'm saying? It just enhanced things that you could enjoy. When you watch the show, you just enjoyed it more. Especially in the beginning. But this is how it gets you. Once I was 18, I was already thinking about like, yo, I'm kind of tired of smoking this every day. I started to realize how lazy it was making me. I started to realize how much money I was spending on it. I started to realize that my tolerance was rising. So I wasn't getting the same effects on what I used to get. So now I had to start spending more money. And it got to the point where no matter how much I was smoking, yeah, I was getting higher and higher. But I was so used to it, it wasn't as enjoyable anymore. This is what happens when you abuse things. You feel what I'm saying? And now I'm addicted. So now even when I'm telling myself, you know, maybe I should chill. Maybe I should slow down. Maybe I should stop. Now I'm feeling a very strong urge to do so, to smoke. And it's almost impossible to stop. Now you're starting to feel stressed when you try to stop. Now I can't eat. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm down. Now I'm frustrated. Now I'm irritable. Around that time too, it was crazy because we also kind of raised my consciousness on a little level at the time too, because I remember there would be times where I used to be high and I used to be looking at people and I used to like think a little deeper. Like, you know, that's why people say like, oh, this nigga high, when certain people would say like little deep things. But it got to a point where I got way past what weed could do for me. Like, especially now, like way past like on a conscious level. But at the time, that is kind of what opened me up to it, because I did kind of like would look at people and observe more. And I would look at life without labels, you know what I'm saying? I remember I was listening to music, because music also sounded better when I was high. I was listening to music and I used to think like, yo, isn't it crazy that we just like a whole bunch of sounds put together in a certain way that it just sounds good to our ears? Like, I used to think like that when I was high, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because around that time, I stumbled upon meditation, and I was like trying to get into meditation a little bit, but that's a little off topic. This is the thing that people don't realize. People are so rooted in their base level of consciousness. They're so rooted in a physical sense that they don't intuitively understand the ways of energy and how everything is energy. So think about this. They tell you plants, animals, and people are living things. People don't see plants as living things. People don't understand, okay, so if weed is a plant and it comes from the earth, and the earth is one big organism, and if plants are alive, living things, what is a living thing? Something that is alive. Just like how a Venus flytrap, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what Venus flytrap is. These plants are alive. They have a consciousness just like me and you. So understand, you're smoking something, you're inhaling something, you are what you consume that has a consciousness. So understand vibration, trying to catch a vibe, that's just the energy you're in. That's just the vibe you're in. Understand, when you are inhaling a weed, you're matching the vibration of the weed. So I said this before. If your vibration is here and the weed vibration is here, and you smoke the weed, your vibration is going to raise to here. But there are more healthier ways and better ways to raise your vibration. And some people are naturally like that already. Their vibrations are already naturally higher. So we can only benefit a person who naturally vibrates at a lower level than what the plant is vibrating on. Let's say your vibration was already higher. This is the weed. Remember, this hand right here, this is the weed. If your vibration is already here and you smoke the weed, your vibration is going to lower. This is why there's people who smoke weed and get high and they don't like it. Now, it's rare because most of society, especially when you're from the hood, when you're from the inner cities and things like that, your vibration is already going to be lower than weed. Naturally. Because of other factors. Right? But now, me personally, so when I smoked weed, it raised my vibration when I first started. But because I started to do meditation and do other things and just learn how to naturally feel better, for me, because that's what a vibration is. When I used to take breaks, I was already up here. So when I went back to it, I didn't like the feeling anymore. I didn't like it anymore. So that's the whole dynamic between that. You feel what I'm saying? And nowadays, the weed is not even natural. It's not even natural from Mother Earth. Nowadays, motherfuckers can't even get high off real natural weed. They need what the hood calls za. Exotic weed. They need exotic weed. You need exotic weed, but that's just genetically modified weed. That is just weed that is tampered with in the lab. You really trust those chemicals? You really are that addicted that you are smoking it so much that you are letting those chemicals into your body? You don't even understand what it does to your body and your vibration. You know what's so crazy? My job that I have now, I work with a lot of older people. And when they were younger, the weed they were smoking was natural. And it's funny because some of them even talk about it. They be like, yo, the weed that these kids be smoking these days don't even be smelling right. It be smelling weird. Like, they be talking about it themselves because they understood, or they come from a time where it was more natural. Even they can sense that. But kids these generations don't give a fuck about anything. Like they don't care. That's one factor that plays a right. So now your tolerance is too high for the natural shit, even to the point where people are shunned upon or people are made fun of when they what we call block work, which is the natural shit, greens or whatever the case is. I don't even really think people really sell that anymore. I haven't smoked weed in a year. You know what I'm saying? I haven't smoked weed in a year, so I don't even know what motherfuckers are selling. That's one part. Now you can't even fuck with the block work. You can't even fuck with the natural stuff. So now you need the genetically modified shit that's being tampered with in the lab. Why do you think they're doing that? What would their purpose be for doing that? You know what I'm saying? But we're not even gonna get into that because look, some people are functional weed heads or whatever the case is. But I know a lot of people who talk about, oh, they want to stop but they just can't. They're tired of it because, yo, bro, you gotta understand, this thing is alive. You are a slave to it now. Because you can't eat without it. You can't sleep without it. You can't do this without it. I know motherfuckers who need to smoke before everything. They want to watch a show. They're like, yo, they're looking forward to a show. Like, yo, we gotta get high before we watch this show. Oh, shit. We gotta, oh, they got food coming. Oh, we gotta get high before we do this food. Oh, the game's about to come on. Oh, we gotta get high before we do this game. Niggas just gotta get high. And they don't even want to think, deep down they know that they want to stop. Because I've even heard, like I said, I've heard these same niggas say like they want to stop or it's a bad habit to what the case is, but they just accept that they can't. That's weakness. Your solar plexus chakra is lacking because you're lacking the willpower. You're lacking the willpower to say, you know what? This shit ain't benefiting me. And look, I know it's easier said than done. I did it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, I started when I was 16. I'm 24 right now. And I said I haven't smoked in a year. So what does that tell you? I didn't want to stop till I was about 18, 19. From 18, 19 to about 23, I was on and off. 16 to 19 or whatever, I was just fucking with it. Like, I wasn't thinking like that. You feel what I'm saying? Now I'm a year clean, and now I don't see myself ever going back to that because I understand I've released myself from that hold. You feel what I'm saying? The way I always used to look at it, it was like it's a hole. The more you smoke every day, the more you fall into a hole because it's harder to stop, to climb out that hole. So the more you're smoking, the lower you're getting. When you stop, you're going up higher, but because of how much you smoked before, you got a lot more to climb. You feel what I'm saying? There are people, not to say that you can't function or you can't do whatever it is you need to do in life without weed. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's your life. You do whatever you want. But I'm just trying to get into people's heads like, yo, you have to be mindful. Is it benefiting you or is it a detriment to you? Fuck what your urge is telling you. Fuck what your addiction is telling you. Nigga, develop some willpower. Is it benefiting you or is it a detriment to you? It's your life, bro. You know you're a slave to it when you can't even function in life without it. That shit right there, bro. Look. Just like, come on, bro. You can't even function without it. You shouldn't have that type of relationship with any substance unless it is something that is vital to your survival. Like food and water. Food, water, shelter. That's about it. My personal opinion though. But you know, I already know this video is gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way because most of our generation, most of the people in today's world, they smoke weed every single day. But yo, it's a soft drug, but nigga, it's a drug. There isn't a drug that you should be doing every single day. At least moderate it. At least. If you're the type of nigga who smokes multiple times a day, at least try to do it at night only. At least try to cut it down to one time a day. That's how I got off. That's why it took me long, because I went from 4 or 5 spliffs a day to now daily I'm lowering the numbers. Now I'm lowering the amount of days a week. Now I'm lowering the amount of days a month. Lowering, then taking long breaks, coming back, taking breaks. It's a cycle, you know what I'm saying? And I know the relationship. I know what the relationships you have. That shit gets so deep that even when you try to stop, you would tell yourself things in your mind to why you couldn't go back to it. Yeah, me personally, I'm never going back to it, and I do not miss it. Not at all. And this is coming from a nigga who used to love it. I got friends, I got homies who I done peer pressured into doing it back when I was 17. Who still smoke every day to this day. And I used to tell these niggas like, yo, I feel bad. Cause I didn't know any better. To me it was just like, yo, this shit is lit. I didn't think any deeper about it. This shit is lit, yo, bros. Let's do it together. Let's have fun. Boom. Now once I become aware of something I want to stop, I couldn't stop. This is why it's such a bad thing to do it on a daily basis. Because that becomes your main priority. Whether people want to admit it or not, that becomes people's main priority. This is what I feel like. If you aren't where you want to be in life, why would you be doing something like that on a daily basis? Why? Because this is the thing. If you aren't where you want to be, if you don't have the financial security, you have bigger things to be worried about. Unless you're just okay with where you are. Because you are hindering your process. This thing becomes such a main priority. Really, you're spending a lot of your day worrying about getting that spliff in. When you get paid, you are already... When I remember I used to do this. When I got paid, I already had a routine of, alright, this amount of when I get paid is going to weed. That was like a given. Like, no matter what it was. That shit was almost like a bill. Alright, this amount is what I'm doing for weed. Boom, I'm putting a couple hundred to the side for weed. Boom, I'm spending a couple hundred every check for weed. I know niggas was doing that shit every week. So family, a lot of us already know this, especially if you smoke it every single day. People already know this. People know this already. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. But what are you doing to fix it? What are you doing to, you know what I'm saying? Because when you pass, when it's time for you to go, you're gonna look back and wish you did things differently. Trust me. But that's all I gotta say for this video, y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I'm out.